Yeah, I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm moving on. That somebody could break me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm moving on, ain't no need in trying to chase me. I'm moving on, that you know you could break me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. There's blood in my veins. Feel in my pain. Blood in my veins. Feel in my pain. Let me tell you a story of me. Tell you about my life before a street called green. See, I've been going through since a very little girl, born at the bottom with a tired old soul. I've been up and up and down. The family no one hold me down. And you ain't seen what happened to me when darkness falls. Demons will creep. There's blood in my veins. Feel in my pain. Can't come out into the sunlight, 'cause it never ceases to rain on me. There's blood in my veins. Feel in my pain. Can't come out into the sunlight, 'cause it never ceases to rain on me. Do you hear me now? I'm singing my song. Tell you about the things that's been done wrong. Gonna expose sin, laying at the cross. Down on my knees, Lord, help me please. I've been up and I've been down. The valley low won't hold me down. Just a little girl with a tired old soul in the shack down south. Be quiet, I was told there's blood in my veins. Feel in my pain. Can't come out into the sunlight, 'cause it never ceases to rain on me. There's blood in my veins. Feel in my pain. Can't come out into the sunlight, 'cause it never ceases to rain on me. Oh, do you hear me now? I've got blood in my veins, fear in my pain. All the memories that linger in my own brain. Take me out of here, don't want to be here no more. Thank God he heard me and he saved me. Yeah. I wanna be close to you. I want you in my life. But baby, it hurts so bad when things just ain't right. I wanna be close to you, so baby, let me know. Will you hold me close, or will you let me go? Back in my baby, I see where we went wrong. Oh, wish it always looked too clear. 'Cause truth is, the love's not gone. remember back in the day when you said that your love wouldn't go away. I trusted you, I gave you my heart. But then I saw the look in your eyes when you left me and said goodbye. I never had a chance to even question why. But now that it's over, I can't believe that it's over. No, I never had a chance to make it right. Looking back in my rearview mirror, and I see where we went wrong. I wish it all was a little clearer. Cause truth is a love's like gold. I wanna be close to you. I want you in my life. But baby, it hurts so bad when things just ain't right. I wanna be close to you. So baby, let me know. Will you hold me close? Or will you let me go? See, I need you in my life. I wanna carry your kids and be your wife. See, love ain't easy. We can't let it go. Don't wanna give up on love. No, 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 no. Looking back in my rearview, I see where I belong. See how a little clearer. Truth is the love's like that. Truth is the love's like that. Wanna be close to you. Want you in my life. Baby, it hurts so bad. I wanna be close to you. Baby, let me know. I'll see you with all. Let me There's something wrong, things just not going right. Let's put it all on the table, get to the bottom line. Things are about to ignite, just in a matter of time. And it is vivid to stay, but you can't see the signs. Oh no, how many hits can we take till we can't take more? How many points you need, prove it till you even the score. To the point where fear is knocking at doors, bang, bang, hit the floor. But maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm asleep in my bed. But the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming no more war. Maybe it's all in my head. lot better. But the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming no more war. But the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming no more. Lord, do you hear me? I need you, we need you here. Lord, do you hear me? I need you, we need you here. Lord, do you hear me? I need you. Oh Lord, we need you. Oh Lord, we need you. Oh Lord, do you hear me? I need you, we need you. Yeah. Lord, do you hear me? I need you, we need you. Yeah. Lord, do you hear me? Lord, do you hear me calling? Lord, we need you. What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? You already know what time it is. It's consulting time. So, you always prepare for war in the time of peace. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to take another route tonight. It appears Mr. Williams is having some technical difficulties. So, what we're going to do, we're going to dive right in, right? We're going to dive right in. I'm going to chop it up with you guys for a little bit. So, I hope that those of you who are watching will definitely hang around so that you can hear about some of the forthcoming things. And so I definitely was going to bring you supper time on Thursday so we could talk a little bit about what's forthcoming. But nonetheless, we're going to get the road on the show. And we are going to talk a little bit about let's first just address a couple of different things. I do want to make sure that even, before I go into things that are forthcoming, I want to explain to you what its consulting time is and why it's important. And so the mission is to provide an outlet for all creatives to have a conscious voice and speak freely. Okay. And what that simply means is that we are intentional. We are intentional about the individuals that are selected to come aboard. We want everyone to feel included. This is a mutually inclusive platform. The vision, though, the vision is what's so spectacular because we seemingly want to create that mutually inclusive vibe for today's independent entertainment industry, not limited to just musicians, singers, rappers. We want to promote intentional conversation surrounding positivity. We honor veterans and legends in the entertainment industry. We provide intentional positive exposure to every facet of the independent entertainment industry. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we seek to build social capital through the implementation of ethical business practice in the independent entertainment industry. And guys, what that simply means is this. What that simply means is that we're here for you. We're here for the people. But let's talk a little bit about what's coming down the pike, right? You already know it's consulting time. It's generally on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And so this season, we're going to kick back to Tuesdays at 7 p.m. because your girl be tired. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your girl be tired. But we're bringing All Things Authentic back, and All Things Authentic is coming back with a bang, right? And All Things Authentic this time is going to be very, very, very intentional. It's going to be very, 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 very interesting, for lack of better terms. And so what I want to do is I definitely want to draw your attention to some of the things that are forthcoming. And while I'm drawing your attention to some of the things that are forthcoming, I just had my doorbell to ring. And while the doorbell is ringing, let me see if I can answer. Y'all know I'm old school, so I'm trying to take y'all back to the old school church, right? Somebody's knocking at your door. Because in the country church, we don't say door. Somebody's knocking at your door. And I think I'm gonna answer. Mr.
Hey,
Lenny
what's
Williams.
going on? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. We finally got it together here.
Absolutely. Listen, Mr. Williams, just jump right in and tell
All right.
everybody who you are if they don't know.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams. Yeah, we hanging out. Yes, right, and we having a good time. We got a little thwarted there for a second, but we managed to persevere. And as we talking about the country, my daddy would say, "Here I is." Uh huh. Yeah.
Here I is.
Yes.
Now, I think it would be fitting for you to take the lead here and
Okay.
take us on a journey from Little Rock to California.
Yes. Yeah. I came out to California when I was very very young, and but I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas, and made it out here. And California's been my home for years and years and years. Yeah, decades. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, what was the journey like in music? I mean, did you start out in the church? Because, normally we start with the music thing in the church, but how did it start for you?
Well, I started singing in church, and then sang all as a little kid, and then junior high school, and then I think Jerry Butler came out with a record called "Your Precious Love," and I had to learn that song and sing it to one of my friends' girlfriends across town, and she was going crazy. I said, "Oh, this is the way you get the girls to go crazy." So then I just started doing it more and more, and I was in the band at school playing trumpet in the marching band, and so I learned to read music there, and just started hanging out, with the musicians. I went to church with Walter Hawkins, Ed Hawkins, Tremaine Hawkins, Andre Crouch, Billy Preston, people like that. The Stewart family, which was Cy Stone and his brothers and sisters. So
Yeah.
yeah, we know we had it going on at church. Everybody's trying to do their little thing, and everybody started leaving and doing stuff, and then I was kind of the last one to get on out there. And so with that group, that particular group, later on, Tony, and all those started coming out. They were a lot younger than us, but yeah. So that's kind of my story. Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You are hailed as one of R&B's most influential soul men. How does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel good to feel that maybe I'm influencing somebody, hopefully in a positive way. Because I've had influences. I was influenced by Sam Cooke. Like I said, watching my friends like Ed and Walter Hawkins, step out and Sly Stone, and they influenced me. It kind of gave me a little roadmap. A lot of things to do, some things not to do, and so yeah, when you can influence people and and especially in a positive manner, it makes you feel proud.
Spectacular. So, Mr. Williams, now, when we think about you as the lead singer of Tower of Power, talk to us about the transition from group life to solo life.
Well, group life, if people mess up, it's the band, or and solo life is just all on you. And especially if if you're handling all the business and everything, and so it's incumbent upon you if you handling the business to make sure everybody get paid. You just want to make sure everybody acts nice and be on their best behavior because they're gonna say, "Oh, them guys in the Lenny Williams band, they do this and they do that." So your name is always going to be out there, and so definitely, there's more personal responsibility and personal consequences, and if it's all under your name. So it definitely, it'll make you want to just be more and more involved because it's all about your name out front, and and the buck kind of stops with you.
Okay, now this is going to be the million dollar question.
Mm.
Where did the motivation come from? Girl, you know I love you.
Well, I it sounded pretty good there. Now, I had this a guy working for me. He was a carpenter. He was working on my house, and he kept telling me about his son, how good his son could write and everything. And so yeah, I was like, oh, everybody like their kids. Everybody think their kids is the next best thing since ice cream, you know. So he just kept on, kept on. So finally, I met his son, and his son was very, very good songwriter. And so we started writing together, and we'd write every day. And in our talking, he would tell me, well, you don't have to be really inspired to write. You know, something has to happen. You know, an event. And I was saying, well, you know, the guys at Motown, they just go to work every day. You know, they go in a room, punch the clock, and just start writing. And Barry Gordy come around, look and see what you got. You know, they're there for 8 hours. And I said, so nothing eventful happens. You know, I mean, it's like you just go in there and you just start putting your mind to work. And so I got him to buy into that theory. And so one day he came by the house, and it was our time to write. And then I was like, I really don't feel like it. And he's like, why? I said, oh, me and my girl got into it last night. I don't feel good. He said, would you tell Barry Gordy that? And I said, no. He said, well, come on then, let's write. And then we just sat down and wrote the song. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm just envisioning you performing this song, and it just instills through your body, and you can feel it, even if you've never been there. You feel it. Is this the idea? Let's see. Okay, you have another device going over there?
No, my phone is here, but it's off. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Maybe that's Dixie Hummingbirds or something. I don't know.
It might be the song you said she loves you.
Well, I love her too, LaTanya. LaTanya, you know I love you.
He said, no matter what you do.
No matter what you do. And I hope you understand me. Yeah. Yeah, LaTanya.
So tell us about Southern Girl.
Okay, Southern Girl. I was hanging out with this friend of mine, Levi Caesar. He played guitar and bass with Prince in the New Power Generation band. And so I was hanging out with him, and he was like, man, you're always down south. What is it? What's going on down south? What you like about down south? I said, well, I like the people. I like the food. I like the weather. I said, but I really, really, really like those Southern girls. And so he said, well, let's write a song about it. And so we just started writing about the Southern girls and talking about going to the HBCUs and all the majorettes and the marching bands and everything like that. And then just start thinking about Southern women, how influential, they are, all the way from, say a Beyonce from Houston to Shirley Chisholm or going all the way back to Sojourner Truth, these women from the South, they're not only beautiful, but they're intellectual, they're powerful, Madam C.J. Walker, they starting businesses and everything. I love them Southern girls. Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Now, if you could tell us anything about the industry today, what would it be?
Tell you about the industry today?
If you could change anything, what would it be?
Oh, if I could change anything, well, I think that songwriters and artists should get more money for their work. I definitely think that, with the advent of all the streaming and things like that, it's you just don't get the kind of money that you used to get back in the day. And so hopefully, that would change. That would be one of the most significant changes that I would make.
Very interesting. Now, do you feel like the internet has positively impacted music, or do you feel like there's a little bit of positive and negative impact?
Well, I think there's a yin and yang to everything. It's good side, bad side. Or a good side, a side maybe not bad, but one's a little more shinier than the other. But but I think the internet, has definitely it's easier to produce a record. You can just go to your computer, go to your phone, and make a record on there if you know how to do that kind of stuff. And you can reach people through Facebook and Twitter and everything, so you have a greater access, to people. But then also, it just like it makes it easier for you, it makes it easier for everybody else. And so, it's like maybe back in the day, record company or radio station may have gotten on record day, they may get 50 new records. Now today it's like 10, 15,000 a day getting uploaded on Spotify and all the platforms. And so as a consequence, it's just more people trying to get to that spot. And so the traffic is heavy out there. It's a traffic jam all the time trying to get on the top 10. And so you have to really work hard to distinguish yourself, to have something really, really special to be able to make it through, and work your way up, to the top.
Wow. Guys, if you're just listening, we're chopping it up with Mr. Lenny Williams. You guys already know he is because I love using his help. But what specific message do you want to share with the world?
Well, I just think that everybody, as long as you're breathing, you have an opportunity, to better yourself. You have an opportunity to advance yourself. You have an opportunity to make your dreams come true. So I think people should never, give up and get discouraged. I mean, sometimes, you do get a little sad, or when you keep on trying and trying, and then it seems like that there's no obvious evidence of you moving forward, and some you're in the same spot, but just keep on trying, and eventually, something really, really good is gonna happen. Yeah, so don't give up, no matter what. Yeah.
Okay, and this is a question from the viewers. Do you think the subject matter of the music today has lost something?
Well, I think it's definitely changed. I mean, because you have a more leniency today. You can say things on in music that you couldn't say when I was coming up. You know what I mean? It's like, number one, you couldn't even think of saying things like, I mean, I guess you could think of saying it, but you would never ever do it. But there's less censorship. And so, I mean, it's the same thing with movies and things like that. Same thing with clothing. People, the dresses are shorter. Uh, with clothes and things of that nature, and with music, the cars go faster. So it's just a way of life that things change. And then it's like that rap song a long time ago. Hey, hey, get out the way. It's like you got to get out you got to go with the flow, and you got to get out the way. And so I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of people say. I talk to a lot of rappers, and they say, well, I'm only singing about what I rapping about what I see, what I hear. And so if you see violence, or you see just sex or whatever, then it's natural that you write about that. If you know people don't write about horses, because they've never seen a horse, or they never so you feel people who in the country would write more about animals, or riding a wagon, or going to the well, to get the water or whatever. And so, if you see violence and all kinds of things, then you're going to write about it. And to me, you can't really stop people from writing about what they see and what's important to them. So I think that, and if people don't buy it, then people are going to start. If they're looking for money, then they're going to change and start writing about things that make people buy their records. And so, as long as there's a consumer out there that'll pay money to hear you say this or that, a cuss, or talk about your sexual prowess or whatever, then people are gonna keep on doing it.
That is so true. And I think it's really important
Hmm.
that you articulated the fact that there is free speech even more than back in the day. I think back in the day, people were more bound by morals, values, and just general etiquette. People did not want to put themselves out there like that. Now it's just like whatever. So I'm very glad that you are open minded with this new generation. That is really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's this generation. It's their time. So I'm just like, well, who am I to stand in the way of progress, or just stand in the way of this big tidal wave that's happening? Because the cat's out the bag, the horse out the barn. It ain't going back in no more. It's not going to go backwards. And so the people who want that to be the case, I feel sorry for them, because it's like everybody's been able to express themselves And and so I was reading an article the other day that was saying that a little cussing is good for you, help you get that stress off and everything like that. So can I cuss right now?
Yes.
So
So we have one more question from the viewers. What keeps you inspired to continue putting out great music?
Well, the people, I mean, it's just kind of interesting when you do something, you create something. I don't care if it's a blouse or a dress. I mean, you think about somebody who makes blouses or makes shoes or purses or whatever, and you make that in your little studio or whatever, and then you take it and then next thing you know, Macy's want it, and this store wants it, and everything like that, and then people are buying it, and we need more. It makes you feel good that that something that came out of your brain and your heart or your imagination, yet it resonates with people. And so the music, when I write a song, and next thing I know, this radio station added and that one, and and go on Spotify and all of that, and see that it's people are buying it, they're downloading it, they're
Yes.
sharing it or whatever. That makes you feel good. You feel a sense of accomplishment, and so that inspires me. And then it just makes me feel good to write music. Yeah, I feel good when I do it.
Now, you collaborated with Snoop Dogg on something.
I did. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I met Snoop Dogg's mama. Right. I met her and Yo Yo's mama. I met them together.
Were
And
you singing to them?
pardon?
Were you singing to them?
No, I don't know where I was. I was somewhere in San Francisco, and and then we met them, and then we became friends. So then I introduced them to my wife. Right, yeah. And so then my wife became really good friends with Snoop's mom, Beverly, and and so we just became dear friends. And then she invited me. Uh, I was doing a show down in Los Angeles, and so she said my son wants to meet you, and so I he sent a card for me, and with his auntie Gail, God rest her soul, she came and picked me up, and then we went up to the house and I met Snoop, and then he was like, man, I never wrote a song for my mama before. He said, I always want to write a song for my mama. He played some music for me. He said, you feel that? And I was like, yeah. And he said, oh, here's a piece of paper and a pen. You just call me when you're ready. So then I just like, I was on the spot then. I'm like, ooh, I got to come on with something, right? So I just started writing, and then I called, I said, okay, I'm ready. And then Snoop came on back, and we just got in the studio and started doing that, and it was just real interesting. He inspired me, and yeah, and I was just inspired by him. It was like I remember we'd been in his studio at his house, and something was going wrong, and so he had some of his buddies there, some of his boys, and you had to get up under the board, lay down on the floor to get up under the board to see what was going on. And instead of him having one of his boys do it, with big old tall Snoop, he laid on his back and slid up under the board and moving the wires and everything. And so that really impressed me. I said, wow, so, this guy not only is buying this equipment, but he knows how to use it. At 3 o'clock in the morning, he get an idea. He don't have to go call somebody. He can go in there and push the button and do this. And if it's acting up, and so that really, really impressed me. And we just became very, very close friends with him and his brothers, Bing and Jerry, and the whole family. And so it's a we be rolling down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
Laid back, yes.
Wow, Mr. Williams, I really appreciate this. I appreciate you being here. And let us know where we can find you on social media, but
Yes.
more importantly, what you have coming up.
Yeah, well, I'm on social media. I'm at Lenny Williams, LennyWilliams.com. I'm on the real Lenny Williams on Instagram, and at Lenny Williams on Twitter. And I'm just working on new music. Me and Levi working. I've been working with this guy DOA. that just produced Kim's latest album, and so him and I've been doing some songwriting. So we just the possibilities are limitless. And then there's a little young dude named LJ. Just came out here from Chicago, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Chicago, a lot of gang stuff and everything. So his family sent for him to come out here to California, and he's a terrific singer. So we're gonna be working with him and doing some music with him. And he's young, but he sings old school. So I'm like, oh, okay, I got a little youngster, 18 years old that loves old school, and so we're gonna be doing some stuff with him. So we're excited about it.
Well, that is spectacular. I'm so glad you were able to jump on. I'm so glad you were able to jump on, and hopefully we can have you back, and we can start sampling some of this new music.
Okay, let's do it for sure. I'm definitely up for that, and I really appreciate your professionalism and making it happen, and the platform that you have, because artists need that and be able to get out and touch the people, and people can ask questions and kind of see what's going on with us. So appreciate you for that, and I salute you, and and I'm just looking forward to hanging out with you. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks like I'm gonna be in California in a couple of weeks. I just found out today, so absolutely.
Now, where are you? Where are you? What?
I'm actually in Atlanta.
Oh, you're in Atlanta. Oh, yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm.
hotbed down there. Yeah, that's where the
Look, I
magic
just got
happens.
here from Virginia.
Oh, from Virginia. Yes. Yeah. Like what part of Virginia?
Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, yeah, Richmond. The Tri Cities, Richmond and Portsmouth, and what's the other one?
So the Tidewater is Hampton, Portsmouth, and all of that. I'm in
Yeah, right.
The Richmond, Petersburg area.
Oh, yeah, Petersburg. Yeah, right. My uncle lived up in Petersburg. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You've up there with Trey Songz from Trey Songz territory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Chris Brown. You know Chris Brown from
Chris
back
Brown.
in the day.
Yeah. Pharrell and all of them, and
Yeah.
yeah, Missy Elliott. Yeah.
Timberland. Yep.
Yeah, Timberland, all that. All right. Okay. Lend me some money. I know you got it. Y'all
But I
West
see the
folks up
tax
there,
pay on it all though.
yeah. Well, Teddy Riley and all them. Yeah,
Oh,
right. Yeah.
yeah. Come on now.
Pernell Whitaker, the boxer. Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Allen Iverson. All that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely Allen Iverson. You cannot leave out Allen Iverson.
Hey,
And now you gotta even on the Edmonds boys from my hometown of Danville, Virginia.
oh yes, most definitely. Yes. And then Arthur Ashe, the great tennis player, right? Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're gonna keep on talking. We're gonna fool on, and we're gonna create
We're
something.
gonna be on here. Already knew. I felt it.
Yes. Yeah, well, I really appreciate you so much, and thank you for having me and your
You're
patience
very
today.
welcome.
Yeah, with our connection, starting out a little funky, but we got it together. Yes.
That's all right. You will be back. And it's
Okay.
gonna be okay.
Okay, I appreciate you now. Okay.
All right. Have a
Okay.
good
God
night.
bless.
Thank
Adios.
you. Guys, it was super duper dope. We definitely thank Mr. Williams for coming on. Listen, go and definitely check out Southern Girl. He is definitely still making it do what it do. And I'm super duper excited about everything that's forthcoming. So I'm not gonna give you everything. I cannot give you everything. But I do want to take a minute to step back. So, guys, we gotta take a turn. We gotta take a turn because I said I wasn't going to address it, but I think we need to address it. I think we need to address two things real quick. The first thing we're going to address is Lil Nas X, and then we're going to address this buffoonery of a trial that some of us are watching because I wasn't going to watch it, but I was tempted to watch it today. So I'm going to start with the trial first. Not sure if you guys have been watching the trial, but I will say this. We know our criminal justice system is flawed. We do know that. We understand. I think it is articulated day in and day out. What I need us to do is learn the process, learn the system, and truly understand what your position is. What I'm watching on this television definitely proves my theory of social hierarchy in these United States of America. Now, anybody that knows me very well understands what my philosophy about the social hierarchy. But what I want to draw your attention to is the young lady who testified today. The young lady of whom is a firefighter, and a pretty healthy firefighter at that. This young lady was very articulate. She was very emotional, but she was a public service figure. Firefighters, first responders, police officers, EMT, paramedics, they're all first responders. Why are we trying to put them at war? Why are we trying to compare and contrast when there is no battle of the public service? There is a battle within the system, right? And because of this battle within the system, we're sitting here watching a trial unfold. And I'm going to be honest with you. To me, this trial is about O.J. Simpson. I'm just going to keep it real. Why? Okay, if you want to know why, let me tell you why. The reason is simply because O.J. got off. Now listen, come on, y'all. We all know. We all know what happened with O.J. Simpson's trial. Okay? What's happening right now is not it. It's not right. But there are some of you who seem to think that all you have to do is go out and burn something down or post it, but nobody's reading, nobody's writing. You can't understand the process in the system if you don't read and then write about it. And I'm not just talking about just writing to be writing. Like, we have to write to the people that make the decisions. And dismiss me with they don't listen. You don't know because you don't write. Hollering and screaming with the people in power does not work. I'm telling you. Been there, done that. It doesn't work. But when you put the pen to the paper, when you start a trail, then you start to get something accomplished. No, it's not going to fix everything. Some things are embedded. Institutionalized racism has been there since the beginning of time. It did not just start. And baby, let me tell you something. It's not going to end like this. The reality is where we are right now is simply where some of our parents and grandparents were back in the 60s. But the sad thing is we got it worse. See, at least back then they knew their position. The issue is everybody kept screaming equality, equality, equality. That's not what it was about. It was about equity. See, this concept of equality irritates me, right? Because see, what equality says is give all of us 3 feet. I'm 5'4.5". If the fence is 6 feet tall and you give me 3 feet, I'm still not tall enough. If the person beside me is 5'11" and you get them, 3 inches, they're going to be able to look over the fence. If the person on the other side of me is like 4'10", that's equality. What? No, give me equity. Give me 7.5 inches so I can see over the fence. And the person that's 5'11", give them 1 inch. Y'all need to understand the difference between what you're fighting for. Everybody talking about equality. Everybody talking about justice. No. You want equity. You want fairness. You're looking to a justice system that was not designed for everybody to fix the issue. No, you got to start fixing the issue in your own house. And what that means is it's going to take me into Lil Nas X. Shut the hell up about it. That's all I'm saying. You can't control your own kids in your house, but you worried about what this man doing. Let me tell you something. This is the Holy Week. How brilliant was it for him to do that during the Holy Week? Why? Because all of y'all that act like your shit don't stink, they act like you don't curse, you don't backbite, y'all not running around here sleeping with other folks' spouses, y'all not out here fornicating, y'all not stealing, robbing, condoning your kids in your wrong, letting the kids cuss you out and beat your tail and you not doing nothing to them, and you got the audacity to talk about what somebody else got going on that ain't got nothing to do with your household. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. That's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, I'm not condoning what this man is doing. But what you have to understand is a lot of this stuff is commercial. A lot of this stuff is commercial. And you getting worked up about commercial. Get worked up about what's going on in your own house. Get worked up about what's going on in your village. I don't know when, how, and where everything got jacked up, but this is not indicative of who we are as a race of people. And I'm just going to keep it real. So, what I need you to do, I need you to take a step back and really reflect upon the things that you're doing. Reflect upon your priorities. Reflect upon how you're carrying yourself and not how you're carrying yourself for the public. How you carrying yourself in private? Because see, y'all got the game all twisted. Social media got y'all all jacked up. Let me tell you something. It's a reason why I come on here thorough, barefaced, all that. Why? Because you need to see authenticity. You need to know that just because I'm in front of a camera, I'm still a real person. And I don't get dolled up all the time. You get what I'm saying? This is real life. And for some reason, y'all want to live in this fairyland and these fairy tales, and you want this picture perfect box. There is no cookie cutter story out here. It's not pretty. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But I'm sick and tired of the things that we continue to do to ourselves, blaming other people for it. Listen, and I know this is going to piss you off, but I really don't care. We know slavery occurred. I am a behavioral health guru at this point in time. I understand trauma. I understand the traumatic effects of slavery, right? But how long are you going to continue to live in that? How long you going to live in it? You can't keep blaming stuff on slavery. You know, I don't understand why, and I don't understand how. But what I do understand is that the lying has to stop. The ridiculous placing value on material things has to stop. And the senseless killing of ourselves has to stop. I'm tired. For real. I don't even think y'all really understand that There really aren't a lot of quality services for people of color. And I'm talking about medical services, behavioral health services. Why? Do some research. Go read a book and stop Googling everything and thinking that that's the answer. Just because it's on Facebook doesn't make it true. Just because it's on Instagram doesn't make it true. I'm disturbed. And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to condone ignorance because we have too much access this day and time. So, guys, you already know that when I come to you never intending to offend. But as always, I cannot help the way you perceive what I'm giving to you. You will hear more. You will see more. It's consulting time. It's going to always be what it is. But I had to take a moment today to give you some supper because you needed supper time. And so, what that means is all things authentic will kick off in May. We're going to talk about the issues. We're going to talk about a lot of different things that impact us day by day by day. But what I want you to always know and understand is that Lillie Mae is all about intentional conversations. And I'm always here to bring you joy, jewels, and justice. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.